Hello, my name's Martin Dorey. I am a lifelong camper vanner. I'm a member of the Caravan and Motorhome Club, and I'm also a judge on the Motorhome and Camper Van Design Awards. Now, this little film is about the do's and don'ts of being a considerate motorhomer or camper vanner. First things first, I'm going to head out for the day, but before I do that, I need to get the van ready for driving. So, captain seat, obviously, swivel round, made nice and secure. Close all the vents, you don't want to be driving with them open. I'd also sort of try and make sure that things aren't rattling in the cupboards. Close and lock all the cupboards because you really don't want them flying open as you're driving along. And one final thing is just to have a quick look around the van. Check you haven't left your electricity cable plugged in, check that you've put your leveling wedges away, and also check if you have them, I don't have them on this van, if you've got garage doors, if you've got gas lockers, make sure they are shut and secured. And something else to remember, of course, is not to drive overloaded. So that means not driving with a full tank of fresh water and making sure you've emptied your grey waste. So one thing I've noticed over the years is that I don't want to be driving between sites all the time. So find a good site that's close to the things that you want to do or the things you want to see. Stay 2 or 3 nights. You drive less, you exercise more, you feel better. So you might want to take your van to Wales or Cornwall or even Scotland. And when you're in those places, you're likely to encounter single track roads like this one. There's a few rules that you need to be wary of, and you need to be able to drive properly when you're on these roads. First thing to remember is driving on single track roads isn't like driving on normal roads. If you meet a car coming in the opposite direction, you will need to pull over to let them come past. If there's a passing space that you can see, then pull into it, flash them or indicate that you're going into that passing space. Or if you've seen one behind you that you've just passed, then it is courteous to stop, reverse into that space and let the other car come past. If your motorhome, your camper van is too big for you to be able to reverse comfortably and safely, then stick to roads that have 2 lanes. The way that you can tell whether or not roads are going to be single track is on the OS map. Look at the legend, you'll find that dotted roads are generally single track with passing spaces. It's worth knowing. It's also a really good idea not to tailgate other drivers, because that means that if they pull into a passing space to let someone pass, you don't want to be right behind them, because sometimes passing spaces can only be 1 vehicle long. So another thing to remember about driving a van or a motorhome is that they aren't like cars. So you need to be a little bit more gentle. So brake easier, accelerate easier, and also remember they're bigger. So when you come across a cyclist, for example, give them plenty of space. One final thing to remember is that when you are driving a van, generally you're going slower than car traffic. And that means that when you're on a single track road, it is courteous to pull over and let cars behind you overtake you. So when you're out and about in the van, like I am today in beautiful Scarborough, here's a few do's and don'ts about parking. First of all, don't park sideways across 2 spaces. It annoys people, takes up too many spaces. If you are going to park in a space and you're a little bit large, try and get both your wheels inside the parking space. Therefore, you won't have to buy 2 tickets and you won't get a ticket. If you're parking up at a beauty spot, don't park in front of someone's house and don't block other people in. Simple as that. Once you're parked up, you need to be respectful of the environment that you've come to enjoy. That means never dropping litter, picking up other people's if you need to, and getting involved in the community, buying local. If you're a dog owner, don't forget to pick up after your dog and keep it under control around other people. And if you're out in the wilds or in rural areas where they have food stores at the side of the road, or maybe even services for the motorhome, if you do come across them and you do use them and they have honesty boxes, please be generous. Okay, well, I hope you found these tips useful. Me, I'm off to do a litter pick.